Jimmy Carter leaving this undeniable legacy, not just for the things he did during his presidency, but the things he did for decades later, really pursuing his passion for human rights, trying to make the world a better place, serving on the board of Habitat for Humanity, establishing in 1982 the Carter Center, and also using, as I mentioned, his expertise as a former president to help subsequent presidents and give them advice. So as far as really what happens now, Hallie, the Carter Center in this new statement is saying that there will be public observances in both Atlanta as well as Washington, D.C., followed by a private interment in Plains, Georgia, of course, the Carter's home. And they say the final arrangements for that state funeral, including all events and motorcade routes, are still pending. All of that to say that with just 22 days left in office, this state funeral and this remembrance service for Jimmy Carter could be one of the last public appearances as president that we see from President Biden. But again, still waiting on reaction from not just President Biden, but also President-elect Trump, who remains at his Mar-a-Lago home here in West Palm Beach. Hallie.
Allie Raffa live for us there in South Florida. Allie, thank you. Andrea Mitchell, our chief Washington correspondent, let me bring you back into the conversation, because for Jimmy Carter, and you interviewed him, you sat down with him, I know, recently, I believe, is just 5 years ago, talking about his push, his support of Habitat for Humanity. To the end, he believed that it was his civic duty to vote, right?
Absolutely. And his post-presidency was so important. His books were all bestsellers. He was lauded around the world, of course, the Nobel Peace Prize for what he did at Camp David. But his example of resilience, and there were, of course, former Carter White House staff people. One said to me when he first went into hospice that he was determined, and as you know, he was there in hospice at home almost 2 years. He stopped taking the chemotherapy, and he wanted to be there for Miss Rosalind. He so adored his wife, and I think he felt that he was hoping to be with her as she was ailing, and certainly she predeceased him, as of course, in November. But the fact that he wanted to be at home, and one of his former staff members telling me he wants to live to his 100th birthday. That was a milestone, to be the first president of the United States to turn 100 on October 1st. And the staffer said, and if he doesn't meet that goal, he'll blame me, because he was a tough taskmaster.